You're getting very, very good at this.
Interviews?
Have you ever been to the actual Kumbh?
No.
I find it fascinating that your production designer was able to create it. It just looks so authentic. So
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we actually had some like normal locals who came and started doing dubkis. So they thought,
because they thought this
they
was
thought,
difficult.
yeah, they actually thought that.
Ashirwad milega. Yeah, what is it? What is it that he really trips over that he can't do? I have to have
he's
this.
a huge fan of missile.
Missile.
If I'm not
without
wrong.
the power, with the power. You
Without,
missile power.
never
Without
with the
Yeah.
power.
Missile.
And then he's got this, if I can.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
He's got this thing with chili cheese toast.
Oh,
With
brilliant.
any serious scene, like not only will he have that chili cheese toast, he will ensure that I have that chili cheese toast.
4th of July on Z5. Abhishek Bachchan returns. It's a delightful, sweet, lovely movie called Kaalidhar Laapata. And we're very pleased to have Abhishek Bachchan and along with him Madhumita, who's the director of the movie, on my show for the very first time. Hi Madhumita.
Hi.
Hi Abhi.
How are you?
Very well.
So just to change things up, we thought we'll do the entire interview in Tamil.
Okay, absolutely. Why not?
Rumbanala.
I don't think your platform will be very happy with that.
They are trying to break into the regional market. Right? Z? We're trying to go to Tamil, right? Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada. Chalo, karo.
But Abhi, I mean, both of you, thank you so much for this
Thank you for
wondrous
having us.
experience. I'm going to start at the obvious point. You're getting very, very good at this.
Interviews? Never.
Acting with child actor thing.
Oh,
Acing
yeah.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
that seems to be one of your things on your resume now. Does even better with child actors around.
You know, Hrishi, I've been asked this quite frequently,
Yeah.
you know, on this press tour. And I think I know why. I think I figured it out.
Why?
What's really nice is I think I'm at a stage in my career and in my life where I'm a lot more settled. And I think I'm more comfortable about my work. When I'm saying comfortable, it's not like it comes easy, but there's more confidence would probably be the right word in your ability, which maybe previously wasn't there, or to the extent that I would have liked it to be. So what happens when you have that is then you can do films that you believe in, that resonate with you. And I'm really enjoying this phase because I think I would say maybe from Man Marzia onwards, when I resumed work after my sabbatical, I've been very lucky that, you know, directors like Madhumita have seen me in a variety of different roles and given me the opportunity to do something which the story resonates with me. So I've noticed since, say, starting from possibly Breathe and Ludo, there's always been this one, almost a theme of a child in the film with me. And the parallel I possibly draw with that is, you know, that's the phase I'm going through in my personal life. You know, my daughter was growing up. I mean, now she's thankfully, by the grace of God, a rather tall 13-year-old. But, you know, throughout the making, you're in that mode, you know. And what's really nice is maybe there isn't that compulsion as an actor that, oh, this is what I need to do. It's more, this is what I want to do. And I think those stories resonate with you. So possibly because of the relationship with Daivik and me, Daivik is Ballu, who plays Ballu. Maybe those stories just appeal to you at that phase in life. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I'm going to find another indirect way of giving you a compliment. There are lots of direct ways. As is obvious, I'm a huge fan of the man. You see, the child at points is precocious because it's written that way.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
He can be precocious and
Not
sometimes...
Not he can. The character is very...
Okay.
I mean, he's an adult.
He's an adult, yeah. So now when you meet very precocious children sometimes, you want to admonish them, you know. You don't, A, because the guy is charming.
Yeah.
But B, also because the way you react to him.
Yeah.
The way Kaalidhar and this guy, this relationship that they have, sometimes you don't know who the child is and who the adult is because, you know, this guy gives him advice. He's taking it. The other end of the spectrum, he's teaching him how to live a new way of life. So, hats off. I mean, it's not just the acting, it's the reacting. Every time you
thank
react to him,
I'll take that compliment, but in all humility, I have to tell you the genesis of that. It's got nothing to do with me. It's all got to do with this wonderful lady sitting on my left. Is because that's the way she wrote it. And I remember very clearly, just before we kicked off the shooting, she loves, I want to do reading. She was panicking about that. I'm like, no, Madhumita, relax. We'll get it. She's like, she was panicking for Daivik, saying, no, I want him because, you know.
Fair enough, yeah.
And in he walked, and very confident, does a lot of theatre in Bhopal actually. So, you know, confident in his skin, wasn't overwhelmed with the situation or who was sitting in front of him at all. And she said, you know, let's use this. The first couple of scenes when they first meet, the equation is kid, adult, don't mess around.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to pull rank. But what she said is, you know, Kaalidhar realizes with time that this guy is making so much sense. So then that dynamic of a kid and an adult kind of just goes away. And she said, treat him like he's your age, he's your friend. And then how wonderfully she brought back the child dynamic at the end of the film.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very cool. And I like the fact that, see, there's one aspect of playing it where you play, I'm the adult, you're the kid, but I'm going to, you know, I'll treat you like a normal person. Kaalidhar genuinely looks upon him as somebody who's, you know, wise beyond his years. So that was nice.
And I think
that was all her.
If I can add something, with children, right, having worked with children, I think something I've really noticed is that children don't know, especially on screen or in real life, they don't know how to put up a facade like how we adults do. Children are very authentic on their own, right? They're not afraid. They're not worried about what are you thinking, what am I thinking, right? So working with children, actors especially, and somebody like a Daivik who's acting for the first time on the big screen, that too with, I mean, even on a small screen for that matter, but that too with a star like AB. And the thing is, they're very honest about what they feel, what they think. And Daivik was that. And so what happens is when you're acting opposite somebody who's coming from a place of authenticity like that, it's very hard for you to be inauthentic. It's very hard for you to put on a facade, right? As far as Kaalidhar and Ballu's relationship is concerned, Ballu is somebody who's had to fend for himself, right? And he's never had an adult kind of take care of him. He's never been sheltered. So he's had to fend for himself. So he will treat the people coming across just the way he is. He will not try to mince words. He will not try to be artificial or polite for that matter. And that's why that character feels authentic. So people acting, people directing a child are also forced to be authentic that way, I think.
Well, you know, we know it's an adaptation of a very successful Tamil film. My question is, the principal protagonist there is a lot older than what you are. It's not a worry, but were you concerned at any point that you're much younger than him? And obviously the ailments of a younger man is very different from the ailments of a much older man. And how did she tackle that, or was it in the script?
Well, I think the first thing to understand is this is not a remake. It's an adaptation.
Yeah.
And there is a marked difference. There's a long story which I won't get into, but when Madhumita came with the story idea and how she wanted to treat it, it was very evident over there that she was giving this film a very different soul. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah.
And so those concerns never even came up. In fact, I was very happy that in this version, she brought down Kaalidhar's age, because I felt that just makes it that much more painful. There's a sense of, with old age, you kind of think that, okay, you're nearing the end of the road. But here's somebody who's nowhere near the end of the road. But, you know, he has to deal with this crisis of sorts. And I thought that made it more emotional. So no, that was never a thought. And these things actually don't. I mean, Hrishi, I played a 70-year-old when I was 28. So it's okay. I'm the kind of person that if my director is convinced that I can pull off something, then I'm all guns blazing. That's the confidence I need.
Have you ever been to the actual Kumbh?
No, I mean, my father is from Prayagraj, but
Yeah.
I've been to the Sangam several
To the
times,
Sangam,
but I've
yeah.
never been to the Kumbh. No.
I find it fascinating that your production designer was able to create it. It just looks so authentic, so
We never created
wonderfully
it. She
She shot at the edges. No, I think I definitely, his name is Ashwini and he was fabulous.
Wow.
He constructed the original Kumbh Mela as well. So we got him on board for this and we set it up at Orcha, which is a beautiful place. I mean, I loved shooting there and it was so authentic the way he had set it up and very real. I think if I were to say in my 15 years of shoot, that was my biggest setup. And it was like the moment I walked into the set, I felt like, wow, this is so amazing just to see the whole visual of it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we actually had some like normal locals who came and started doing dubkis. So they thought,
because they thought this
they
was
thought,
difficult.
they actually thought
क्या
that.
आशीर्वाद मिलेगा?
Yeah, they actually thought it was like that.
No, there were a lot of people that we had
Oh.
dressed up as babas and everything for the
Yeah.
background, right? And people
They were all
from-
junior
would
artists who were
come-
busy giving blessings and all.
blessings and taking money and all of that was happening.
That is hilarious.
Really, yeah.
I love how Kaalidhar stroke Abhishek Bachchan consumes the biryani with so much passion that everybody else around him wants to order that biryani. I wonder if in real life you have this overarching passion for a food item.
Yes,
And if so, what
Yes,
would be that
I
food
can
item?
tell you that.
everything.
Yeah, what is it? What is it that he really trips over that he can't do? I have
think
to
he's
have
a
this.
huge fan of misal.
Misal,
I'm not
without
wrong.
the pav, with the pav. You're
Without,
misal pav.
never
Without
with the
Yeah.
pav.
Misal.
And then he's got this, if I can.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
He's got this thing with chili cheese toast.
Oh,
With
brilliant.
any serious scene, like not only will he have that chili cheese toast, he will ensure that I have that chili
No.
cheese toast.
No, those are chili toast.
Chili toast.
That's different. So
Okay.
it's my assistant Vinod makes it. It's toast with copious amounts of butter and just green chilies.
Yeah. Actually, there's no cheese in it. He's right. Now that I remember, it was
Chili
just
cheese toast is after pack.
So this is something that's made at home
No, they make
On
it on
set.
set.
on set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there a place you tell me to go and have chili cheese toast?
No.
Do you fancy
I'll make you the chili toast. Nobody makes it better than Vinod.
Yes.
And Vinod
exactly.
does misal also for you?
No,
Does he?
misal comes from Mamledar Misal in Thane
Yes.
Wow.
for breakfast every day. Not
Not
right
to,
now.
Not to Bhopal
Not
though.
to Bhopal, but not right now. I've stopped all that, and I like my namkeen and meetha. And if you give me an opportunity, I'd love to. I was so looking forward to the biryani scene, but I was equally scared. It was the one scene I was most scared of
Why?
because her whole thing is the entire film kind of emotionally is based on this because it's this thing, and you talk about biryani. So when you eat it, her brief to me was, AB, when you eat it, it should be so good that the whole unit should want to eat biryani.
I should want to eat it. I'm vegetarian.
Exactly. And that's pressure, So I'm like, so I was actually like, how will I do it? How will my hands be? Now I'm a lefty. Should I be? Is Kaalidhar? No, okay, what do I do? How do I make it? And I didn't want to make it. It's very tempting to go, and do. I didn't want to do that because that'll gross people out. Because she was taking very tight shots.
I noticed your cinematographer was going nuts.
Yeah.
AB from the side, AB from the front,
Yeah.
a lip shot.
So Goirik actually helped me. Our DOP, Goirik and I had first worked on Bob,
Okay.
right? And he's a bong, and his love for food is the same as mine, although he's thin as a rake. But so when we were shooting Bob, we used to go for biryani. So he actually helped a lot, saying, try this. He used to say this, but I was stressed about that. But that biryani was so good. I don't know where she got it from. It was fantastic.
How did you find the boy? I know he was doing theatre in Bhopal, he just said.
Yeah. So we
Series
had
of
been
tests.
auditioning. We had been auditioning quite a bit. I think by the time I was auditioning for Daivik, it had been 3 months and I hadn't found the boy. I hadn't found my Balu. And my casting directors were threatening to, stage a mutiny at the end of the day because I was being so... Because I think, like you spoke about how Kaalidhar is different in this version, right? I think it's a very different relationship between the two of them as well. If you see the Tamil version, Kuti is very spunky. He's very short-tempered. He's also very muffat. right?
Hmm.
Whereas, and if you see him, you will see that he's very sharp in the sense he will give it back to you. Whereas I think in Hindi, I wanted to make sure that Baloo had a bit of innocence in him, because I wanted Baloo to be that kind of character that no matter what the world does to you, you don't let it harden you. You still manage to retain that love for the world and that innocence and everything. And for me, that was very different from because I have shot the Kutti version of it. So from learning from that, I wanted to make a little bit of a change and find that innocence. So when I did, we auditioned at least about 100, 150 children, and I'm not kidding. But then we got this audition from Bhopal. The casting director sent us this audition from Bhopal. And the moment I saw him, there was just so much love in his eyes. And there was just that innocence and everything. And so then we flew him down to Mumbai. And then I was like, this is, Baloo. And then we did workshops with him because he was afraid of, the camera. He had never faced the camera before and all of that. So we did do workshops with him. And it was important. I'll just give you a small example of what Daivik was like, right? When we finished doing the reading at AB Sir's office, we were doing readings and rehearsals. And just as we were done, it was the last day. And then now after this, we're only all going to meet for the shoot. And Daivik was going back to Bhopal. And so he said, he went to AB Sir and he went, my dad will come for shoot every day. Will your dad also come?
Yeah, sure. How sweet.
Now, I leave it up to your imagination. If you think it was an innocent boy asking, like, will Bachchan Sir come on set
There
every
is also
day?
a reference to the great man in a dialogue.
Yes, there is.
When he says, Bachchan bolte hain, jahan se hum
Yes.
khade hote hain, line shuru hoti hai.
Yes.
Was that your touch or
Yes,
your writer?
it was my writers and me. We were saying we wanted it.
Nice
and then,
one.
in fact, AB Sir showed us how Bachchan Sir would have done it in the film.
Sweet.
So
How
it was
lovely.
really nice.
It's a fun film. It's got such wonderful moments, but it also makes you pause and reflect on how we are treating our elderly and the sick or the infirm.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that spoke to you in the script, the screenplay, when you took it up.
It wasn't one of the reasons initially, but through the making, yes. Generally in our culture, we're very good with our family. Indian culture generally is one of a joint family. We take care of our parents.
Yeah, and you've always been in a joint family.
And as compared to the West, where you're 18 and you get kicked out, and then you're taking appointments to meet your parents, and it's not like that. So we come from a culture that generally takes care of its own. But within that construct, there are several stories like this, which is even more heartbreaking because it's not something that comes naturally to us. In the West, you can understand it. That's their culture. They don't really bother about these things. We do, and still this happens. And that's something that obviously I think stayed back with all of us.
Your first choice was always Abhishek Bachchan?
I think it was important to understand what the character was, right? And if I were to be honest, it was Mr. Nikhil Advani from MA who said that, we should talk to AB. And the idea came from him, if I were to be honest.
Oh, nice.
And he said, I'll get you a meeting. And I have seen the AB that I know is Dostana. The AB that I know is The Houseful. And, that was the AB that I had seen. But then when he suggested it, I was like, yeah, but he is very versatile and it would be very cool to cast against type, right? And to see something different. And then I saw Dasvi. And I was like, oh my God, this is getting me really excited because you see and I'm not saying this because he's sitting right next to me. I would tell you otherwise as well.
You better have said this about us.
No, but I think there's playing loud characters is something anybody can do. In my opinion, acting is that, right? Being loud and over the top is something anybody can do. But it is that much harder to play the subtler tones, the nuanced performances. And I'm really, really wishing that when people see this, he's done some amazing performances before this, but when people see this, I think they will see that, oh my God, like how true he is to that character.
Lovely. My last question is going to be about...
No?
She's wonderful. My last question is going to be about sport. So Rahul Bose personally told me, and he's waxing eloquent about how you went out on a limb to support his rugby league. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to the Sports Complex and watch a game.
I literally just got off the phone with him.
Yeah. And, hats off to you. I mean, supporting sport in this country, especially alternative sport, because rugby is alternative for us. Enjoyed yourself, and
Very
is it
much.
fast? How's the game?
Very much. I mean,
Yeah.
growing up in a British boarding school, rugby was
Ah.
was one of the sports that was always around you. I played it casually in school, but when Rahul has been speaking to me about the rugby league for a good 3 to 4 years now, and it's something that he really believes very passionately, and he was captain of India as well.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing several years ago a match in Bombay Gymkhana. I have a few friends that play, and I just think anytime anybody wants to do something with sport in India, I just gravitate towards it, because I think it's so important, and especially sports which are other than just cricket. We all love cricket, but somebody's trying to do something apart from that. It's always wonderful, and he's such a wonderful ambassador to the sport. He's going to make a brilliant commissioner to the league, and I wish him all the the biggest of successes, because he deserves it. He's worked very hard. He's put out a great product. It's very exciting to watch.
Lovely. 4th of July on Z5. It's called Kaalidhar Laapata. Abhishek Bachchan, performance of a lifetime. Madhumita has just done such a splendid job directing it. Please go watch the film. Give it a lot of love. Z5. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much for
Hrishi.
your time.
94.3 Radio 1.